Hi, it's Mike Chan, in case you couldn't recognize me with that mask on. Back in Dallas and at one of my favorite pho places outside of Vietnam. I'm pretty sure, actually I'm really sure, pho in Texas, best outside of Vietnam. It's here. Ooh, I think it's coming. This smells so good. Number one reason I love this place, this is a full pastor, by the way, in case you were ever in Dallas, Texas. That broth is just out of this world good. Out of this world good. The only pho outside of Vietnam that when I ask sriracha, I feel a little bad. That broth, I just don't know how to do it. It's so clear and so delicious. Best broth outside of Vietnam, 100%. Not even close. Still gonna add it because I like my spice. Magic is happening in the kitchen. Anyway, I think this is the last video from the Korea series. I know I had a ton in storage. This is when I went to a Korean department store. I think it's the Lotte market. And this place had a massive food court in the basement, along with bakeries, restaurants, just a ton of food options. I think the last time I had such a good meal at a department store was back in Japan. And before we get to that, a huge shout out to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video and continuing to support this channel. Guys, you heard me talk about Surfshark VPN a lot over the last couple years, and it is a service I feel like everybody should utilize, especially now that people are traveling more, you're connecting to a lot of random Wi-Fi spots. These are all great opportunities for people to access your personal information. You know how when you're messaging a friend, if you ever talk about a particular product or brand or basically anything, ads for whatever you're talking about start appearing everywhere. Sometimes when you're just even speaking about it, it just pops up as well. So a VPN is a virtual private network, and what Surfshark VPN does is that it encrypts your personal information before it goes over to the internet, so people you don't want having access to your personal information and data won't have access to it. Also, Surfshark has something called HackLog ID, so if anyone's trying to access something like your email, you're gonna get notified right away. And if you feel like you're running out of things to watch on, say, Netflix, you can actually use Surfshark VPN to kind of trick Netflix into thinking that you're in a different country like South Korea or Japan, which allows you to have access to their Netflix library of shows and movies. Or if you're outside of the country, you want to have access to streaming services in the US like Hulu or Crunchyroll, you can also use Surfshark VPN for that. Anyway, great tool to have. I've been using it for I think about 2 years now. And if you want to give it a try, go to my link down below and use my promo code Dumpling. You're gonna get 83% off your order and 3 extra months for free. And you can try it out for 30 days. If it doesn't do everything I'm telling you it does, get your money back. All right, I gotta get back to this. Enjoy the video.
Come on, 1, 2. Hey, stop, 참 무책임해. 왜 자꾸 들었다 놨다 해. 헷갈리게. 친절은 사양할게. 오해하게 하지 말아요, 날. Yeah. 들어봐. 가뭄 같은 마음엔 뭐라도 단비가 돼요. 돼요. 무의미한 말에 자꾸 내 맘이 설레요. 그래요.
Hey guys, it's me, it's Mike. I'm in front of one of the original department stores in Seoul, Lotte. This is a massive department store. You see it everywhere in the city, and this one is especially beautiful, especially at night because it is Christmas time, and this whole entire building basically has a bow on it. And inside this place, you can find pretty much everything, including a massive food court. And that's what we're gonna go check out today. Let's do it.
난 그대만 보이네요. 밤하늘의 별도 밝게 비춘 달도 그대 앞에 빛을 잃어요.
All right, now that I'm inside, the trick is trying to find where the food is because there's a lot of stories in this building. Here we are. This reminds me of the department store I went to in Tokyo where all the food is just on the bottom level. Whoa, this is potato bread shaped like an actual potato. That is cool. This is all different types of fish cake. That's a lot of fish cake. This potato bread operation is pretty massive. This whole thing is all about the spud. So all the way on the other end of this, there's a huge grocery store. And then as you're walking, you pass the pastries, and here is all the cooked foods. It's a lot of stuff. I don't even know, because I don't even have like a shopping basket. I'm a little flustered, overwhelmed. I feel like I'm on a first date kind of thing. Butterflies in my stomach. So this area is the actual food court. So this is all the vendors, and you come to this machine, you pick whichever place you want to go, pay here, and then grab a seat and get your food. After just walking around, I noticed that this place is mainly Japanese food and Korean food. The actual food court area, I think, is still too busy right now to kind of safely grab a seat. So I'm gonna just start eating around these restaurant places that are pretty much empty. And I came across this place that serves what looks like really cool looking tonkatsu and curry and udon. And this udon looks really good. Flying fish, caviar, eggs, cream udon. Let's get one. This looks amazing. It smells so creamy and cheesy, and it's so colorful. It looks like a sunset. I mean, I know I say that a lot about eggs and whatnot, but this actually looks like a sunset. I mean, you got the golden yolk in the middle and the red aura of, like, I guess the sun surrounding it. Oh my gosh. This is like a painting, like an edible portrait. Wow. Oh, that looks so amazingly delicious. The creamy sauce is so thick and just radiating this amazing fragrance, and with just little specks of orange everywhere. All right, I have a love-hate relationship with this. I love the texture. Noodles perfectly al dente. Sauce is so creamy, and every time you chew, it's like you got those little pop rock candies in your mouth, where the fish egg just goes popping everywhere. The only thing I don't like about this is it's too sweet. I feel like that's like a common problem I have with food I find in Korea. Way too sweet. I mean, everything about this is so great, including the mushrooms. This is so delicious. If the sweetness could be toned down by like 50%, this would be amazing, amazing. Right now, it's just one amazing. So you really gotta eat this with the kimchi they give you. Otherwise, way too much sugar. Besides that, I adore this. Shrimp dumpling. This could be good. Let me get some of this. Fresh milk. All right, so once you get your receipt from the machine, you go to this counter here and exchange the receipt for a bunch of these. So I got 3 dishes, and then you just find a seat. So I got the Chinese version of jjajangmyeon. At least I thought that's what I got. And I got dumplings and chilies, hongyou chaoshu, which is one of my favorite things. Here they're using, I think, shrimp wonton. And this is the pudding, I think? It would look much bigger on the screen. There's a lot of noodle dishes in this food court. So this, I didn't know if there was gonna be a soupy version of this dish. Ingredients-wise, it's kind of reminiscent of the Korean jjajangmyeon. Meat and onions. You don't usually find onions in Chinese jjajangmyeon. Smells good. Smells very jjiang, like fried saucy. And you smell the fermented bean paste, which is always a welcome flavor. Noodles are okay. Sauce is good, especially the meat. The meat, I feel like, is the best part of this because that has really absorbed that nice earthy fermented bean flavor of the sauce. Noodles, I think the flavor is all right. It is way too soggy. All right, let's try to make it better. Got some hot oil, just add a little bit. Definitely smell that great hot oil fragrance. Much better, much better. If the noodle texture was a little bit more chewy, a little more al dente, this would be pretty good. Salsa I like. Also, I wish the onions would change to potatoes. That's just way more in line with what Chinese jjajangmyeon is. Plus, potatoes are much better than onions. There, I said it. You cook the potatoes, the sauce soaks in. Every bite you take, you got that mushy little flavor bomb exploding in your mouth. Oh, this is delicious. Shrimp is snappy. The sauce is amazing, really spicy with a great kick of garlic. Add a little bit of cilantro. This I highly recommend. That's one of the best wonton / dim sum things I had in this country. Oh, that's delicious. I mean, it's $3 for like a little tiny one biter of pudding. But this is great milk pudding. And it's perfect if you've been eating a lot of spicy food. That cools your mouth down right away. Sweet, creamy. This is delicious. Again, you don't get much, but what you're getting will make you real happy. So this, dumplings, that's what you should get when you come here. I've been walking past this Korean noodle shop like quite a few times, and it's always packed. I'm gonna grab a counter seat, and we'll see what the hype is all about. First impression, this noodle looks amazing. Look how beautiful it is. So it looks more like an egg drop soup, and it has 3 spices on top. I see nori, I think pepper, ground pepper, and chilies. Wait, actually, it's not pepper, it's perilla seed. Looking at this, you wouldn't think there's noodles hiding underneath. Awesome. Soup alone. It's spicy, amazing flavor from the seaweed. It's a medium thick broth, so it's gonna cling to the noodles very, very well. Love biting into the perilla seeds. It's almost surprising because each little seed contains a lot of flavor. You don't think about it because like you're just eating and all of a sudden you pop a seed, then your whole world changes a little bit. Oh, delicious. These are fresh noodles. I can see them making it right in front of me. I wish it was a little more al dente, again. But you can 100% taste that this is freshly made. Honestly, I like the broth way more than the noodles. I'd be happy with just this bowl of soup. Add a little vinegar, a little more chilies. Yeah. A little more vinegar. That's the stuff. This with a hit of vinegar. That's amazing. I like my noodle soup a little on the sour side, and that freshly made dumplings here. Oh, this is so good. You saw how thin that skin is? That dumpling, you don't need a drip of dipping sauce. Pork, glass noodles, and chives, but there's just some like aura-like flavor to this whole thing. Like that's kind of hidden inside each dumpling. Look at this. You're even just holding it, and it's about to break apart. That's how delicate it is. And this thing will definitely break apart in your mouth. I think whatever seasoning they put inside the meat, it's just spectacular. You know that scene in Secretary Kim where he's like, aura! I feel like this dumpling could do the same thing. Dip it in some soup. That's the best way to eat these dumplings. Dumplings, A+++. Soup, A++. Noodles, A. But this place, highly recommend if you come here. I think we need a dessert break. This ice cream looks really good. One common theme I seem to pick up on here is that the desserts never look as big as they look on the pictures. It's like a one-biter. Like that milk thing. Fresh strawberry with the ice cream. Let's try the ice cream first. Oh, that's good ice cream. It tastes kind of like Hokkaido ice cream. Yeah, it tastes kind of like Hokkaido ice cream. I don't think quite as milky, but very, very, very milky on its own. Wow, now I'm really mad this thing is so small. I could usually use something like 3 times the size of this. Also, fresh strawberries in Korea, the ones I've had anyway. So sweet and juicy. Oh, this is great. What a nice little dessert break. Emphasis on little. Still nice. This looks pretty good. See how the light is sparkling off the food? Take that as a sign.
One step forward, 2 steps backwards, yeah. Immature lover who don't use big words, yeah. I don't need convincing at all because I know what I want. Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your heart? What's it gonna take for you to love?
Oh, this is pretty. Whenever I see a golden fried egg on top of anything, it just catches my attention.
I've been trying to take it slow, but my patience low. Think it's time you let me know. What's it gonna take for you to love me? Yeah.
I wish there's a real waterfall that exists somewhere in the world. This reminds me of the time I went to Yosemite and there's a waterfall, and when the sun hits it, it looks like golden rays of magic were flowing down the mountain instead of water. That kind of reminded me of it. Perfectly fried egg, sprouts, fried rice, and steak. Oh, the fried rice is spicy. I love it when people serve me food and don't even ask me if I want it spicy or not and just automatically makes it spicy. Great crunch from the fried rice. This is for dipping the meat, maybe. Even better. Juicy meat, crunchy sprouts, and spicy fried rice, and then you add the creamy eggs. Surprisingly delicious. The only other time I've done conveyor belt sushi was in Tokyo, and I loved it. And this conveyor belt sushi, like it's like double the belt. Like 2 belts of food going around. I want to eat this. So here's the pricing chart. $150 for the green thing, and the most expensive is the black 8,000. So I guess the darker the color scheme, the more expensive it is. All right, this is pretty cool. This is broth, and they give me a little cup with ingredients in there. So you pour the broth in here, and you have unlimited soup. First thing I'm gonna grab is, give me some cider. For some reason, this stuff, it's like Korea's answer to Sprite. I think it just tastes better here. I don't know why. That's the shrimp you just roasted. That shrimp is so sweet. There's something about just sitting in one of these places and just watching food just travel by your face. In my mind, food heaven would be something like this. I totally wrecked that sushi. I was trying to figure out what was inside those noodles. It's jellyfish. They're so crunchy. Unagi. I love tuna. I support the chicken of the sea. I feel like it doesn't get enough love. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like cheese on top, and he just used a blowtorch on it. That's good enough for me. This is a very Korean dish. Oh, a little bit of fish roll in here too. That's good. It's cheese mixed with crab meat mixed with corn. Welcome to South Korea. That is such a classic South Korean dish. Anything with cheese and corn. Little bits of crunchy fish roll too. I like that. This is my favorite. Fatty tuna. Oh, that is giant. Ah, that melted so nice. All right, it seems like things are kind of just being repetitive now. I think it's time to move on. I think I tried everything I want to eat that's like cooked here. Let's go walk around, buy some stuff that I think looks really good, and we'll go home and eat it. This looks really good. This is yubu choba, so it's outside of this fried tofu skin, inside of a variety of ingredients, and it's cool. They give you this little box so you can just kind of fit everything in. Let's get some dumplings. So many.
You stare into my eyes and it makes you wonder, is she the one I'll take home? I stare right back at yours.
Ooh, cream puffs. Oh, they make it fresh for you. Cream puffs are like sweet dumplings. All right, we gotta get a potato bread. I've been wondering about this thing forever. Look at it. It looks just like a potato. Oh, this is pretty. Wow, so pretty.
Yeah, you can talk to me, boy, and you can move it up close, but that's as far as it goes. I'm not your baby. I might be up for a dance. I might be holding your hand, but that is all I can stand. I'm not your baby, no. You're not gonna get what you came here for. I'm leaving as soon as you ask for more. Yeah, you can talk to me, boy, and you can move it up close, but that's as far as it goes.
All right, so brought a bunch of stuff back from the department store. Okay, too many things to, let's start with this. This is heavy. This feels like a rock, but it's the potato bread that was really popular down there. I got one, and when I got one, they said to me, they're like, it's better than you think. Yeah, I mean, look at this, like, it looks like a potato. I don't think it's gonna be that good. What I do like about this, looks like a potato and it's heavy. So they make this from scratch. That's what I saw. All right, so I really don't know what's inside. Inside looks like it's mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes. It is much better than I thought. That girl is right. You know what? It's sweet mashed potatoes. When I had this on pizza, this was no bueno. I did not like that. But here, the sweetness is not overboard. But what's really nice is the mochi wrapper that's around this. That I feel like is the best thing about this. But also has this really good milky flavor to it. That combined with the potatoes, not too bad. Still though, I think one is definitely enough for me. Like, I do not want to eat like 3 of these things. I mean, it's still not great, but yeah, it is better than what I thought it was. Next up, the yubu choba. This is, I think this thing, you gotta get it really early in the day because it does seem a little under the weather at this point. Especially this one with the shrimp. Looks like it's seen better days. Ooh, that is a hefty bite. Delicious. Get a bunch of these when you go there. First of all, the meat on top. It's smoked, barbecued, thin slices of beef with a sweet glaze on top. Although it seems like there's a lot of rice, this rice is fantastic. Such a great chew texture. Very unlike like typical kind of the sticky rice that appears in South Korea a lot. And then the outside fried tofu skin. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You get a hit of umami, tiny bit of vinegary flavor, tiny bit of sweet flavor. It's just like the perfect ingredients to kind of tie all this together. Wow, this is great. I feel like Tony the Tiger. So is this. Same thing I just said all before, this time with tuna. Might be my favorite one so far. So much garlic. Favorite is the shrimp and garlic, for sure. And then the thin slice of beef, and then the tuna. But overall, This is great. Dumplings. I'm really excited about this. I'm not gonna microwave these because these are fried dumplings, and if you microwave it, it's not gonna do it justice. So. Dumpling is ready. Dipping sauce, got some soy sauce, and my own hot oil. So I'll put the link down below. That's a squid dumpling. Big old chunk of squid in here. And the outside wrapper is squid ink. That's a good dumpling. I have so many dumplings here. I'm just gonna start screaming them out when I taste something spectacular. Oh, so juicy. Also amazing. And this really didn't even need the hot oil. Spicy on its own. Look at this. This thing looks like a ninja star. I'm pretty sure Naruto threw one of these one day. The similarities in regards to these dumplings is the fact that the skin on all of them are just so incredibly thin. And you definitely should never microwave these things when you buy. You just gotta take it home, put it on a stovetop for about 10 minutes. And the sides are just so crispy. And the juice is trapped inside. So you gotta be careful when you bite into one of these things. This is a spicy shrimp dumpling. Oh wow. Last couple. There's been a burst of juice. It's almost like a soup dumpling. So far, all of these, never a bad one. This thing has a whole chili pepper in here. It's one of my favorites. Awesome dumpling with a crunchy chili on the side to bring the crunch and bring some extra heat. This thing looks red inside. A typical kimchi dumpling, but ain't nothing typical about the taste. This department store, if you're ever just kind of feeling lazy, you want to just like buy a bunch of stuff to take home, go and get a few dozen dumplings. Make sure you get like multiple ones of each because you won't want to share this. I got a couple of regular steamed ones here as well. Pork and chive, classic, so good. Oh, there's wood ear in here. Wood ear and fungus and shrimp. Well, obviously there's shrimp in here. I see the shrimp tail, but the other things were a surprise. And this is a shrimp bread, like a xiamian bao, like a crispy bun with shrimp in the center. I don't think I've ever had one of these. Oh. Oh yeah. Dunk that in a little hot oil. No, this is great. This tastes like a piece of juicy shrimp. Look kind of glistening. And it's sandwiched between like two buttered pieces of toast. This is good, but this is definitely a 3-mile run sort of dumpling. This is like some sort of pollock bread, like a fish roll bread. And bakeries and pastries are huge here in South Korea. And they get really inventive with it. Yeah, this is all fish eggs inside. It's like basically like a fish egg sandwich. So delicious. Basically a fish egg baguette that's just so toasty and buttery on the outside. Inside, you got the savory fish eggs, and even though it's just a very thin layer, it's definitely enough. Toasty outside, soft and airy and chewy inside. You know the other reason I like this so much? There's no hint of sweetness that's pretty much in like every single Korean pastry. This is wonderful. You dip this in some instant noodle broth, that'd be good eating. Okay, so this is like one of their best items. And this is apparently like some sort of almond pastry. From the top, it kind of looks like a giant mooncake. So it looks really flaky. Stuffed with this like almond custard looking thing in the middle. This is the greatest thing. It seems really thick. When you first crunch down on it, you're gonna get this great flaky, buttery taste. And then the almonds kick in. I feel like every Asian, when they try to describe the perfect dessert with a really good dessert, they're always like, I like it because it's not too sweet. This is not too sweet. I do have to say, you gotta eat this while drinking something. But this with some tea, or coffee, or Chinese medicine, whatever you're drinking, this will go good with it. But they're right for saying this is one of their best items. These are onigiris, but I've never seen them look like this before. The green one I think is pollock roll, and it is definitely the prettiest. This may be the single most greatest thing ever created in the onigiri world. The green stuff is seaweed, and it is tremendous. A little savory, creamy, popping fish egg on top, but really you taste so much of that great seaweed flavor. And the rice is fantastic as well. This whole thing, it just works so well. And they somehow micro blended the seaweed to, make it into like a little dusting around the rice. But when you chew it and let it integrate with each single grain, it just brings about such amazing seaweed flavor, beauty and flavor. No idea what this is. I had a mini version of that before. It's basically spinach, some sort of leafy green with chili sauce on top wrapped around rice. It's seemingly really simple, but trust me, you'll love this, especially if you eat this with some barbecue. All right, not really into this. Really heavy fried breading on the outside. Some sort of corn syrup thing on top. Best one is that green mossy looking thing. Time for dessert. Cream puffs. Oh, this is light. It seems really heavy, but it is light. Let's just hold on to it so it doesn't fly away. Whew. Love of my life. I know I don't talk about my personal life enough, so I want to introduce you today to the love of my life. This is it, right here. This cream puff. Me and this cream puff, we're gonna be very happy together. Until I eat it all. How is this so amazing? The outside, it's just so light and crunchy and flaky, and the inside, the cream is just like someone went up to heaven and milked the holy cow. And then it was made into this light cream by angels. You can't eat this while having your eyes open. You just can't. You just want to close your eyes and just enjoy every intimate moment. This stole my heart away. 100% recommend. And I just bought like a couple pieces of cake for myself. If it's good, I'll let you know. This department store. I see people selling this cake with strawberries on top all around Seoul, and I've had many versions of this. This is the best one. Come and get this cake. All the pastries I've had from this department store, I could just stay home and just buy boxes of these, and I never need to leave my house. This, the dumplings, the onigiris, go and try it for yourself. If you ever get a chance to come to Seoul, don't just go to the restaurants, don't just go to the 7-Elevens, don't just go to the convenience stores, go to the department stores. Oh my goodness, the food is amazing, especially when it comes to their pastries and desserts and dumplings. Had a good day today. As always, guys, information for this department store is listed down below for you. Thank you all so much for watching. Until we eat again, I'll see you later.